part two. This is Friday Standard. And let's go ahead and take a look. First thing I want to do is kind of see what's going on with the starting line. Yeah, so here we have a real breakdown in criteria depending on what you've been doing. So I haven't been watching your start lines very closely, so only you know. This is very common with high drive dogs like yours. When I got Gitchy, she was like this. When I got her mother, she was like this. When I had several other dogs that I helped other people train or ran them for a couple of times, you know, you'd often see these kinds of problems. And so I have confidence in your ability to train them and fix that. Let's see. Reared in the flat after the double. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so in general, I'm not a huge fan of that. But I agree because your assessment here is this yellow jump is a huge trap. This is the blue line, that's the dog's line. If we come back here, you know, the dog is directly on that blue line. And the first turn is the wrong one. So you help by giving a little bit of decel. Thigh pat, which might be the bypass cue if you've taught that formally. And so that does buy you the correct jump here. Really nice, but now you're really out of position to do the traditional rear cross. Coming in behind here would actually cause probably cause a much tighter turn than you're wanting here and leave you no place to go. So I think this is one of those spots where you, based on your position, you're going to have to turn the dog away from you. Of course, the better solution is to not, well, I don't know that it's a better solution. Let me call it another solution, is to make sure you're more independent on your A-frame so you don't need to be right there even with your dog. Because you're never going to be able to win a foot race to the next thing anyway. Then you can do other things like front and so on. Here we have a slowdown. You're slowing down, but you're not stopped. So the dog basically ignores it. So I think I'm seeing this, maybe noticing this a little bit about your dog, that they're not responding to decel cues that other dogs might normally. So they need a little bit stronger cues if you're going to use them to turn them. Because otherwise, what I would say is, why slow down at all here, right? If we're okay with the dog going in extension, if the next jump is just a slight turn, then I think you don't have to use that much decel. Now, if I'm wrong, and you know for a fact the dog would bypass that jump because they land so long and drive so straight and fast, then that's different. I think the use of the bypass cue here is good as well. A lot of people feel like once their dogs are faced away from the A-frame that they're fine, but dogs will often head back toward it. So let's see, reared in the flat. Okay, a little late with the bypass cue of the dog walk. I think that was fine. She's self-released off the table. So let's zoom in here and take a look. So I'm not surprised because the table is a stay position just like the start line. So usually people have problems at the start line, then they have problems at the table, then they have problems at the A-frame and dog walk. Sometimes the teeter first depending how it's been taught, but all of those are contact positions. Nice early blind cross, so very good there. Awkward rear on the flat at the end, at the tunnel at the end. Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, okay. So remember before in the opening, I said that if you had rear cross where you should traditionally rear cross, it would have been too tight a turn. And so it was okay for you to rear cross in the flat. In that case, you know, I don't even consider it a rear cross really. I view it more as turning the dog away from you, like you're directing the dog away from you. And so here you do that and you get the same kind of turn, a 90-degree turn. But this is a great spot because we need a tight turn. So from way over here, I would rear cross and you would have gotten a beautiful turn. So as the dog comes here, you just cut back this way. The dog is going to do a really nice job. In fact, you can start cutting toward her. You think of it almost as like a distant J-turn, but instead of them J-turning this way, it's a rear cross and they're going to go that way. So anyway, I like rear crossing before the jump when you need to get a degree turn that much. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop this one, and we'll start the third video.